Hi everybody, I thought I'd just jump in, do a cheeky little reel. I've just planned out my lesson plan for Chinese New Year week. I've never done Chinese New Year in the pool before. I've always meant to do it, but never had time to kind of like plan it and look into it. So I've made some notes. So what equipment you'll need if you want to do what I'm going to do is you'll need something to represent the red lanterns. I'm going to use some red balls. But you could use balloons, you could use helium balloons maybe. I've never used them before in the pool, don't know how they'd work. So you'd need at least one per swimmer. You'll also need some little red envelopes. So I'm thinking EVA foam. I've not made mine yet, but I'm just going to get like some rectangles of EVA foam and draw like a triangle to make it look like a envelope on there. Might even draw a little stamp on there or stick a stamp on. EVA stamp, not a proper stamp. Okay, so I've got so your entry, your welcome, your acclimatisation, what you normally do. Let's keep the routine going there. So I'm just going to sing hello and I'm going to set the scene. So I'm going to be like, oh, it's Chinese New Year. Did we know anything about the Chinese New Year? It's the year of the rabbit this year, and it's actually the water rabbit. So we're going to find out about some of the signs and have a little mini Chinese New Year celebration. So Chinese New Year this year is on the 22nd of January, and then the celebration's the week afterwards, I believe. I'm not an expert. So the warm-up game I'm going to play, this baby's right through, is going to be swimming like the different zodiac signs, and I'm thinking this because then I can carry it on next year. I can use the same warm-up and we're just going to change bits to adapt it then next year when it's the dragon. So I've written down the 12 signs and just like some ideas that I could do for each. I'm going to adapt it for the age. So I've got rabbits, I've got things like hop across the pool, maybe put your face in and pop up out to listen because they've got really good hearing and good eyesight. Tigers swimming really fast. Dragons, maybe some undulation, maybe breathing out in the water like water fire. Rooster, they could peck the water maybe, they could climb out to roost and jump back in. Snakes can slither. I've got a bit of back work for snakes, I thought. Dogs, doggy paddle, maybe a bit of woofing in the water. Pigs can rotate, they can roll in the mud, so we get the rotation in. Horse could be like an egg and spoon for a bit of balance, maybe some jumping as well, so we could bob up and down through the water. Monkey, we could do monkey walks on the wall, lots of climbing, maybe climbing across the adult. And then rat, ox and goat. Goats like to jump a lot as well and into the water maybe. Rats could be really sneaky, maybe do a little rat arms, and oxes could be like stomping across the water. So those are just some ideas. Obviously I'm not going to do all of them and it'll depend on the age group. So for like the little babies, we'll probably do the pig for the rotation, we'll do some snake slithering, maybe a little bit of undulation, just a little bobbing up and down as we go through the water. Just different varied movements, but we're going to call them these things. And then obviously as you get older and older you can get more advanced, so like the dragon could become dolphin legs. We could undulate through the water and practice our dolphin legs. The snake could slither and turn onto the back to breathe. I haven't written it fully out, so just ideas. All right, then we're going to go into the main theme. So for the main theme, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to decorate our house ready for Chinese New Year. So we're going to go collecting the lanterns, and you can do, so the babies and young children could just go collect and play with the balls, and then the children who can grasp the concept of collecting and putting into a certain place can go collect them and place them. And you might have some like little cones that they could place the balls into around the pool and set decorations, or they could just collect them to a certain point. And you can practice any of your swimming skills that you've got on your scheme of work for that. Then after we finish that, so I've got about 3 to 4 minutes for that, we're going to collect the envelopes. So the envelopes, we're going to fold them. So we're going to swim towards the envelope, get the envelope, we're going to fold ourselves up and swim back on our backs. And we're going to post the envelope. So you might want a little box or a bucket to put them into, or if you've got a filter in the wall and it doesn't mess up with your filter, you could post them into the filter. Yeah, That's what we like to do in our pool. It doesn't do any harm in our pool. So once we've done the lanterns and the envelopes, so we've decorated our house, we've delivered out all the red envelopes, because red envelopes are lucky. We're then going to go and celebrate the Chinese New Year. So we're going to do some fireworks, and it's the same as like what I do at the bonfire theme. We're going to do firework time, so lots of push and glide. Push, glide and rotate for twister, push, glide and big star for a big explosion. Maybe you could do jumping in for this part if you want to do jumping in. Jump in like a star, jump in like a pencil, jump in and go as you enter the water. Maybe jump in and tread water rotating. Fireworks. So yeah, anything that's developmentally correct for the children that are in your class and are at their level. After the fireworks, we're going to have a little bit of a lion dance or a dragon dance, and there's lots of different ways I thought I could do this. One's like the noodle train, where you've got the noodle and the next person holds on and so on, so you've got a big long train. I thought I could do that maybe and swim around the pool. Or as they get older, maybe we could do some like synchronized sculling, so everybody swimming around in a circle doing a little sculling dance. You could make anything up. It could be a little bit of mat work where they take turns to stand up on the mat, do a little bit of a dance and then jump in. And then contrasting activity, I've got rabbit holes, because it's the year of the rabbit, so this is where I'm going to do the different things. So I've got maybe swimming into holes, swimming up out of holes, maybe sitting in, if you've got one of those mats with a hole in the middle, sitting in that and spinning around, or maybe getting in and spinning themselves around. Swimming through a submersible hoop, collecting rabbit holes off the floor, little sink things, or we could do sleeping rabbits and do lots of co-floating together, lots of floating. So I know I'm not going through different ages and different stages for this, but it's just, hopefully you can figure that out from this. Songs, I thought Cluck Cluck Red Hen, which is like Bow Bow Black Sheep. So it goes Cluck Cluck Red Hen, have you any eggs? Yes sir, as many as your legs. 2 for your breakfast and 2 for your lunch. And if you come back tomorrow, we'll have another bunch. Cluck Cluck Red Hen, have you any eggs? And then Peter Rabbit, so Peter Rabbit's got a fly upon his nose. Peter Rabbit's got a fly upon his nose. Peter Rabbit's got a fly upon his nose. So he flipped it and he flopped it and the fly flew away. And then Sleeping Bunnies. See the sleeping bunny sleep until it's nearly noon. Shall we go wake them with a merry tune? Are they still? Wake up bunnies. Hop little bunnies. And then I've got 5 little dragons, which is I found on the internet today when I was looking. Trying to think what tune it goes to. 5 little dragons learning how to fly. 1 blew fire and jumped up high. The king saw the dragon as the dragon zoomed by. Fly away, dragon, wave goodbye. 4 little dragons learning how to fly. 1 blew fire and jumped up high. The king saw the dragon as the dragon zoomed by. Fly away, dragon, wave goodbye. So there's lots of different ways you could do that one in the pool. I'll leave that up to you. And then another one I found was two tigers, and it was translated from an actual traditional Chinese song, but the last 2 lines were a bit odd. It was something like, why have you all got one eye, why have you all got one mouth? And I think it might have lost in translation, so I've just changed it up a little bit, but it's the tune of Fairy Jacker. 2 little tigers, running so fast, tell me where you're going, I'll come too. So yeah, so those are some songs, and then we'd have safe goodbyes and safe exits. So I'll just have a little recap. So you're going to need something for the lantern, something for the envelopes. We're going to do the different animal moves, but using the Zodiac signs. Then we're going to collecting the lanterns to decorate the house. Then we're going to collect the envelopes to give to family and to bring them luck. Then we're going to go watch a firework display, and then we're going to dance like the dragon, I dance like the lion, and we're going to just nice and relax then either doing a bit of rabbit holes for older swimmers, or sleeping rabbits that go floating and floating for younger ones. And then songs could be Cluck Cluck Red Hen, Peter Rabbit, Five Little Dragons, Sleeping Bunnies, Two Tigers, and that's it. So I know it's a long time since I've done like one of these free little themes, so I thought it was about time I did one. So there you go, there's my little 10 minutes. Oh, and I've just made as well, to show you, I've just made a dragon head as well. So this is just made from EVA foam. I got the stencil off Google, and I put it together, and I am going to hang that on my Noodle bridge with a big bit of fabric floating out the back, and that is going to be my Noodle tunnel. So when we're going to deliver the envelopes, we're going to be swimming through the Noodle tunnel. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to say, if you like having these ideas and stuff, I've got 5 webinars coming up, and they are doing one about food, so just in time for Pancake Day, Shrove Tuesday. Then I'll be doing one about spring, I'll do one about Easter, doing one for bees for World Bee Day, one for summer, ready for summer. Somewhere down, I'll put the link in the comments. If you want to do them, I am charging for them because obviously I do spend a lot of time putting these things together and putting that there, and each one of these is an hour long. So I'm going to go through, you know, what the under 6 months will do, what the 6 to 12 months will do, what the 1 to 2 years, the 2 to 4, the beginners, the intermediate, the advanced. I'll go through all of that, and what swim skills we're going to be working towards, what different layers we're going to put in. It's a whole hour, and you'll get the free printout as well at the end of that. And when I'm putting it together, if there's any time spare, I will add some other information in there, like different things I play, different knowledge that I've got, different experience. It will be live, so we've got question and answers, discussions as we go, and if you book on, then you can get the recording as well. Yeah, thank you, bye.